Now to continue our Whodunit week, we're going to look at extracting deoxyribonucleic acid, which is also known as DNA, and you can see why we abbreviated to that because it's a mouthful to put out. You can extract it from yourself, from the inside of your cheek, but today we're going to do it from a strawberry. So in order to do this, you need a few things. You need a Ziploc bag that has a pretty good seal on it. You need some water. You need a coffee filter. You need salt. You need a jar or a cup to do your experiment in. And you're going to need some dish soap, and you're going to need some isopropyl alcohol, also known as rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol comes in different strengths, 50, 70, 91%. I do this experiment fairly often, so we have the 90%. You can try it with the 50, 70 is what's recommended, but you can try the experiment with whatever you have at home. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our strawberry and we're going to cut off the stem, and we're going to cut it into a few chunks here on our cutting board. And we're going to put it into our Ziploc bag. So now we have to start breaking down the strawberry. So we're going to put it on the table. We're going to do a little bit of squishing it around. We're going to squish it inside the bag. If you don't have a whole strawberry, or you want to take a bite of your strawberry first, you can do that. You don't need the whole big one like I put in here. About half a strawberry will work. Okay, so now my strawberry has been macerated. Our DNA is found in all of our cells in our body. It's a long molecule, and it tells the cells what protein to create, and that's what makes us what we are. It makes us ourselves. So even though we may all look differently, we have different skin color, different eye color, hair color. Some are tall, some are short. There's males and females. All human beings share about 99.9% of DNA found in our bodies. So that's the same. It's the 0.1% that's different. It's what makes us unique. So we got this separated. So since you find DNA inside all your cells, we need to break down the cell walls. So now we're going to put in some water. Pour a little water in our bag. And we're going to take some salt. And I'm not going to be real specific on the salt, but so if you've ever looked at salt, you can tell what's the texture of it. It's real granular. So you can't, we're going to use that to help break down the cell walls. Keep mixing it on up. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of our dish soap and we're going to put a squirt in here. The detergent in our dish soap helps to break down the cells more. Make sure you seal it back up so you don't get your strawberry juice everywhere. Now you don't want to squeeze this roughly. You just want to kind of gently mix it around. You're trying to avoid bubbles. Don't have a bunch of bubbles on here. If you have clear dish soap, it works the best. Okay. Now we're going to take our jar. So now we're going to filter this out. So we're going to take the coffee filter and put it inside your cup so that it's not all the way down. It's going to make a little pocket. You'll either need somebody to help you to hold this in place so you don't dump everything in, or you can rubber band like I am around the coffee filter to your jar or your cup so it can hold it there for you. Okay, so it's going to look like this, just like that, because now you have to take and filter your solution here. So I'm going to take it and slowly pour it in. If you don't have a coffee filter, you can also use paper towels to filter through. So what's happening is the liquid is going through to the bottom, and all the chunks of strawberry is going to stay up at the top. So we need to give this a few seconds. Your sandwich bag makes a good place to throw all your trash to while you're working. The one nice thing about this experiment is you don't have to be very precise on how much water, soap, and salt you put in. So I put about 90 milliliters of water in, 100 milliliters, something like that. Salt, you could see I just did a few shakers full in there. And you do a squirt of dish soap. We're not very picky on that. Alrighty, so it's going through. I'm going to take my rubber band off here. So you don't want your filter or any chunks to go into your solution down here. All right, so that's plenty. All right. Now the next step, your experiment works better. I had my isopropyl alcohol, I had it in the freezer to get cold. You get a better reaction when it's cold. So what we're going to do now, when we pour this in, we want to pour it slowly down the inside side of your container. So I'm going to just take it and slowly pour some in. Now this is going to pull your DNA strands out. So we have to let it sit here for a minute. So when you get closer, we'll get a good close-up picture for you. You can see that we're starting to get some white strands up on the top of my solution, and can't really see it on the side, but on top you can see it. If you just let it sit here a little bit and don't mess with it until you're done, we'll be able to pull some of this DNA out. So you can, to pull your DNA out of your jar, you can either use a toothpick, a skewer for like shish kebabs, or I'm just using some tweezers. So now I'm gonna go in here. So it looks like kind of a spider web appearance on top of your solution. And there it is. Can you see it? On the end of my tweezer. Okay, so now you guys can try this at home, and then you can go back to your mystery and see if you can figure, because this is your final clue to see who did it.